Welcome to Denver Parks and Recreation at Home. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to go over compass and map basics. We're going to learn the different parts of our compass, how to use it, as well as different parts of topographical maps and why these are good options for any excursion that you have going into the backcountry. Your compass is going to have a few different parts to it, so it's good to know which part does what as you're trying to orient through the backcountry. A compass will most likely have a base plate. It will have a rotating bezel, which has different number markings on it, as well as your arrow, which is the direction of travel. And notice that your north needle point here is marked in red. Knowing where north is always going to be helpful as you navigate. Within this rotating bezel, you can see that north is marked in red and also has what we kind of call a little shed marking here. If we were trying to find north on this compass here, I want to put the red north needle to match up my north directional arrow here. To do that, we just put red Fred in the shed. Today we're going to take a look at a topographical map or a topo map. These maps are going to have a couple different things that are important for us to notice, such as a key or legend, a title, a scale, a compass rose, a grid, and different markings to determine what we're looking at. Once we open up our topo map, it might be a little tricky to find, but we have a thing called a compass rose. And this is going to let us know what our true north versus our magnetic north is going to be, as well as to indicate the direction of north. Another part of our map is going to have a scale. This is going to let us know how many miles we can guesstimate a trail is going to be. So from this point over, this is our scale saying that this is 2 miles. I like to use my pinky as a rough estimate. I know from the very tip of my pinky until about this line here on my hand is going to be 2 miles. So if I take a look up here, I can find a trail marked by this black dotted line, and I can guesstimate how long 2 miles is going to be. Every map is going to have a key or a legend that you can refer to find out what different colored items mean and what different symbols mean. For instance, for a Colorado trail on this map, it's going to be marked by this yellow highlighted area and a black line with a mountain symbol. The Colorado trail is very specific to Colorado and is helpful as you're planning through hikes. Another option that you can find here on our key is a parking area or a restroom area marked by these symbols here. And we'll take a look at those on a map in just a moment. When you're looking at land features, you can see if you're going to have a mountainous region denoted by the brown areas here versus a forested or a meadow that's highlighted by the green areas here. Any water feature that you're looking for is going to be marked in anything blue. So if you see this blue line that goes through here, that is denoting that there's a water feature. Notice on our map here, we have some boundaries marked in different colors. Refer to the key to figure out what those colors indicate. This blue highlighted area indicates a boundary for national forest, and this purplish gray area here denotes that this is a ranger district. That's going to be helpful to know as you're navigating country to know what kind of permits you might need to pull. Contour lines are a very important part of reading your map, as it's going to tell you the different elevation and the kind of terrain that you're going to be going through. If you look here on the map, very thin lines that are brown here are going to indicate a higher level of elevation and steepness than something more open over here in like a field where these contour lines are spaced further apart. When you're looking at elevation on a map, you can see a higher elevation point is going to be notated by the number. So for instance, if you see a 6,500 marked at a very steep area, that's denoting that area is 6,500 feet above sea level. Reading different contour lines is going to let you know where mountains are and where fields are. If you take a look again down by our water features, you can see that these areas tend to have contour lines that are further spaced apart. Think of these contour lines as kind of a closed circuit. So anytime that you are moving up in elevation, these lines are going to get closer together. So for instance, right here, there's an elevation marking of 11,750 feet. And going down here to the water basin, there are multiple contour lines that show that change in elevation. Down here on our trail, it marks a lower elevation of 11,282 feet. And you can keep following these contour lines up to our ridge line, where the max here is indicated on this X as 12,182 feet. That's going to note that this is a ridge line and a mountain peak. When you're using a map, it's important to orient it in the direction that you need to go. The easiest way to orient a map is to line up your compass and have your compass pointing north. The top of your topo map is most likely always going to be north, but if you're ever unsure, you can always refer to your compass rose. So for this example here, I have our compass pointing north, and I'm also going to make our map point north. When you're orienting your map, you want to line your compass along with your map pointing north. That way you can look for any different attack points or larger features to confirm that you are in fact not getting lost. And if you are lost, you can use those attack points to guide you back to your way. Different attack points that are helpful for looking here in Colorado are things like large mountains, any waterways, any big open meadows. If I were wanting to go hike up to Argentine Pass, my trailhead's going to be here. And say that I come along here and I get to this boundary line. If I'm ever needing to reorient the direction that I'm going because I think I'm lost on a trail, this would be the first place to start. Another thing that can help you find your way while using your map is to notice the time that it's taking you to go a couple miles. If you refer back to your scale, you can get a general idea of how fast you and your party are traveling on the backcountry. So if you know that you've been on a trail for about 3 hours, you can know about how far you've gone if you know your original pace to start with. When going into the backcountry, it's important to have your 10 essentials with you. The compass and the map count as one of your 10 essentials. And the reason that you want to have this is to be prepared for any situation you may encounter. Even if you've gone, say, backpacking to the same place 5 years in a row, you want to have your map in case some weather comes in and you're going to have to divert to another campground. It's always a good idea to be prepared for any of those situations. So in addition to a compass and a map for your 10 essentials, some other items that are included in that are things like extra food, extra water, sun protection, and that includes not just sunblock, but also sunglasses, maybe a wide-brimmed hat, or extra layers that are going to protect your skin from those sun-damaging elements. You're also going to want to have some kind of pocket knife or utility knife along with a repair kit. So the repair kit is for any gear. If you have a hole in your tent, or any tent pole breaks, or you're out on a kayaking trip and your paddle breaks, different repair kits for different activities that you're going to do is going to help you to navigate that backcountry safely. A first aid kit is also one of your 10 essentials, and that is an absolutely important one. Extra clothing and rain gear are essential. A flashlight or any kind of natural light are also going to be one of your 10 essentials. This could include a headlamp, or maybe a solar powered lamp, or any extra batteries that might be included with your flashlight or headlamp. Waterproof matches or some way to start a fire are going to be one of your 10 essentials as well. Along with your 10 essentials, you're going to want to go ahead and follow the leave no trace principles. The first principle of planning a trip is to go ahead and plan and prepare. So part of your 10 essentials, taking that into the backcountry with you, counts as planning ahead and preparing. Also with plan ahead and prepare, you want to make sure that you know the route that you're going to be traveling, as well as any backup plans. So if you get into a situation, say there's a forest fire that's starting, you want to have an exit already planned in addition to a backup exit.